The Human Rights Commission will be taking the PAC to court. It's looking into allegations of hate speech and vandalism during protests at Brackenfell High recently in Cape Town. Now, both the PAC and the EFF have demonstrated against alleged racism there. The Commission is investigating those claims as well. eNCA's Ronald Masinda has been following that story and joins us now. Hi there, Ronald. So the South African Human Rights Commission is investigating the school that's ongoing, but they're also looking at various claims of hate speech. Tell us more.
Yes, indeed, Sally. Well, the South African Human Rights Commission said that it is investigating quite a number of economic freedom fighters, supporters and members. The name of Nazir Paulson, the MP of the EFF, is also being investigated after his comments that he made on Friday. Also under investigation is the man who led the march, the Secretary General, Marshal Dlamini. He's also being investigated for some of the comments he made, as well as quite a number of EFF supporters who were making chants of Amabulu Zizinja, which means that the farmers or white settlers are dogs. So according to the SA Human Rights Commission, this is not a matter that they are taking lightly. But what we do know at this stage is that the PAC will appear before the Equality Court. According to the SA Human Rights Commission, they've lodged a complaint against the PAC, who were also part of those protests outside of Brackenfell High School last week. The PAC's slogan, "One Settler, One Bullet," is the reason why they are being investigated and will be appearing before the Equality Court. This is what the South African Human Rights Commission had to say further with regards to those comments.
We have written an allegations letter to the WCED, the Western Cape Education Department, specifically pertaining now to the unfair discrimination claims, and requested a meeting this coming Thursday at 2 o'clock here at our offices in this very building. So we would like to have responses not only from their side but also from that of the school and the school governing body. We've also invited a representative of the learners. And following from that, we will decide which further interventions are needed in terms of interviews and so on, maybe with learners, the educators that apparently attended the function according to the allegations, and so on.
All right, so that's Andre Gam explaining that they're actually going to look into those allegations of racism at the school. So they're going to deal with the heart of the issue, but of course they're also looking into these allegations of hate speech, as you detailed. The PAC has actually responded about their slogan, which is what, "One Settler, One Bullet," yeah? They're saying it can't be viewed as hate speech. Why did they say that?
Yes, indeed. Well, the PAC is saying that it's part of their heritage, and it's been a slogan that they've used since the struggle. And as one of the oldest parties or political movements in South Africa, the PAC has been using the slogan. So for them, they find it very odd that the Human Rights Commission could blame them for hate speech. They say that the Human Rights Commission should actually try and treat people fairly, as according to the PAC, there are quite a number of pertinent issues pertaining to race that the Human Rights Commission should focus on, and not on slogans like "One Settler, One Bullet." They say there are quite a number of colonial statues still around in South Africa, and this, according to the PAC, shows that there are still issues that South Africa is grappling with from the past. They also said that much of the focus should actually be on the investigations on the school, Brackenfell High School, and other schools where they feel that there's still systemic racism. Let's take a listen to what the president of the PAC had to say on this response.
We can't be worried with our heritage. It's up for them to explain how is it hate speech, because what we know is that if this Human Rights Commission is indeed a commission that represents everyone, they should be worried about the statues of white people who are still displayed in all our places in this country. They should be worried about white people who banned the white police van in Senegal and show a sign of triumph by standing on top of that van and ban it at the end of the day. They should be worried with white people in Brackenfell who were beating up people just for displaying and their displeasure. They should be worried about the former SADF members who are still wearing old SADF uniform in the streets, and that is provocation. That is what should be worrying the Human Rights Commission, unless the Human Rights Commission is taking sides. Unless they don't represent everyone, they are representing white people, then we are worried about them.
Interesting response, Ronald, because you have already explained that the Human Rights Commission is actually looking into the claims of racism within the school and is actually looking at whether white people have been racist at that school.
Yes, indeed, Saleh, and the Human Rights Commission going on to say that they will try and stall the investigations into racism allegations at the school, given that matriculants are still writing exams and that they feel that there's certainly been too many interruptions with regards to some of the protest actions that we've seen in the past 2 weeks, where a number of matriculants are still affected psychologically, and this is something that they don't need at this stage. So the Human Rights Commission is saying that they will be in conversation with the Western Cape Education Department in order to find possible solutions in trying to address issues of racism. They're also in conversation with the school governing body of Brackenfell High School, trying to rectify the mistakes. And the SA Human Rights Commission also promising that they'll also try and enforce their own, ways of trying to address issues of race. They've certainly done that, according to them, right across the country where there's been issues of systemic racism. And the diversity and transformation lessons is one way where the SA Human Rights Commission is trying to address the issues of racism at schools. And they feel because a school like Brackenfell is a multiracial school, that children from different backgrounds might not know certain issues pertaining to race, and these are certainly things that need to be taught at a young age so that children can not be subject of racism at school, which is something that the SA Human Rights Commission is confident that they will be addressing with the Western Cape Education Department sooner rather than later.
Yeah, very important point there. Thank you so much. That's our reporter in Cape Town, Ronald Masinda.